Welcome back to Last Stop Sports Talk. Today is Saturday, April 11th of 2026, on episode 112 here. I'm with Keegan Kropp and Carson Kropp. I am Cody Kropp, and today we got another NFL Draft Rankings video for you guys. Today we will be talking about the big boys on the defense, the defensive tackles, and giving you our scouting reports on them and letting you know our consensus ranks. We'll give you the top 5. So without further ado, we're going to start it off with our consensus number 5 pick here with Grayson Halton from Oklahoma. 6'3", 293 pounds with 31 and an 1/8-inch arms. In 2025, he played 13 games. He had 33 total tackles, 11 solo, 10.4% pass rush win rate, 3.5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 30 pressures, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. I had him 6. Carson and Kean had him 4.
Nailed that pass rush win rate right off the top. Well
Boom.
done.
Yeah, we're on it. On it.
Grayson Halton, though, he's a gap shooter with some great quickness off the snap. He carries 293 pounds very well, which allows him to squeeze through gaps with ease. His explosion is showcased by his 36.5-inch vertical jump, which is the 3rd best defensive tackle vertical jump in combine history. That guy was, at 293 pounds, he was 3 feet and a half inch off the ground. Imagine that.
Wow.
Smooth mover in pursuit in the open field, too. He's able to chase at a speed and maneuverability that looks like an edge. He's got an impressive 4.82 40-yard dash at 293 pounds.
Moving.
He can sometimes loop out and around the offensive tackle with his ability to turn and bend with speed just like an edge as well. And it's time for a little bit of story time because there was one play that absolutely blew me away, and I just have to go over it again because I got to explain what happened here. Because his lateral agility to mirror a running back in the backfield at 293 pounds, again, is crazy. There was one run play in 2025 versus Tennessee. Halton gets double-teamed by the center and right guard at first. Close your eyes and picture this, please.
Okay.
With the Oklahoma D-line running a stunt on this play, his fellow defensive tackle crashes over on the center and right guard while also getting the left guard to follow with him. So he's got 3 interior offensive linemen following this guy, which springs Halton free to loop around to the right, around that mosh pit, and meet the running back at the line of scrimmage. The running back, having just gotten handed the ball out of shotgun formation, was patiently moving toward the line of scrimmage, looking for a hole, waiting for his blockers, when he sees Halton waiting about 4 yards ahead of him. The running back tries to plant hard with his right foot and juke left, but Halton perfectly mirrors him with his lateral agility and drags down the running back for a short 3-yard gain. I don't know. Okay, you can open your eyes.
Okay, that was a good visualization.
Man,
Yeah.
I was that running back
storyteller.
in the hole, and I did not want to be there.
No, if I was that running back, I would have hit a quick halt.
Yeah, exactly. Because legitimately, I don't know if I've ever seen 293 pounds move this well.
No.
Such a quick push-pull move to swipe the offensive lineman's arms off of him. If the offensive lineman can't lock into his pads quick enough, he's just a fantastic motor guy to cap it all off. Despite his lack of strength, this guy's driving, bending, fighting between blockers to disrupt every single play that he can, and I'd feel comfortable lining this guy up anywhere along my defensive line.
I agree. I saw everything you saw. The only thing I'd add is pursuit speed is also there for him to finish all the plays that he sets himself up for and run them down. And then I also said that he moves like an oversized edge rusher with those amazing feet. So this is a guy that I love as well.
I'll just throw in my Cliff Notes, exciting words, descriptors I have in my notes. I include disruptor, obviously.
Nice.
Explodes, yep. Agile, sure.
Yeah.
Slippery, anticipation, yep, it's there. Agile.
Yes.
I have nothing else. No, you summed it up very well. I had to nitpick the guy because I am a fan of this dude, but he doesn't seem to get a whole lot of leverage very often. He kind of relies on that incredible movement skills that he has, and because he's always moving and shaking, I think so much, he's can kind of get pushed and bounced around. He doesn't really, set in one place. He's kind of just, kind of like a pinball. He's just kind of, like moving, shaking, bouncing, and just getting to the action. And he's because he's more like an edge and only 293 pounds. He doesn't really have a good anchor like some of these other D tackles we'll talk about, and not really a consistent block shedder either.
Yeah, I said that he lacks the mass and anchor to play on the nose in the run game, which is not a huge deal if you know what you're drafting here. With his feet being so incredibly quick and shifty, I'd say that his feet outperform his hands. And if he can get his hands to match up with his feet better, then this guy's going to be even more incredible than he already is. And then with how much of a playmaker he is on the line, he takes risks in the run game, and sometimes when he takes those risks, he opens up a hole to set himself up to get around the offensive lineman and make a play in the backfield. And if he doesn't get there quite in time, then the hole that he just opened up is there for the running back to take.
Yeah, I also noted that he really lacks the strength and power of an every down defensive tackle because he can get driven backwards in run defense with a weak anchor, just like you guys said. And sometimes even whenever he meets a running back in the hole, the running back can still churn with him for a few extra yards, which is pretty concerning as far as a player who's supposed to be just kind of heavier set and stronger like that. I think he plays with a high pad level because he doesn't want to win with that leverage, like Cody said, strength or power. He just wants to get up and get around you. And sometimes he moves out so far laterally to try to get around an offensive lineman that he can kind of take himself out of a play, especially on like a run play where he just guesses wrong and this dude's out in left field whenever the play's happening in center field. And I just don't know if his build and skill set's going to work in the NFL because sometimes tweeners like him are hard to project in the NFL because it often takes like an innovative, creative defensive coordinator to find a way to use him effectively. So on the comps,
Yes.
I comped him to a tiger jumping through a fiery hoop at the circus because that's how quickly and explosively he shoots the gap into the backfield, and he's got the chasing demeanor of a tiger as well.
Ooh.
Nice. So my NFL comp isn't really an NFL comp. It's actually a college comp.
Okay.
And so with his quickness, explosion, playmaking ability, quick feet, kind of a tweener as an oversized edge rusher, I have him as a detuned Reuben Bain.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is kind of a knock to Reuben Bain.
A little
Yeah.
But it
bit,
can also be a
yeah.
compliment. I just think that they play very similarly, and if you don't get Reuben Bain and you want a guy similar to him, this is your guy.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that. Number 4, we have Caleb Banks from Florida, 6'6", 327 pounds with 35-inch arms. In 2025, he played 12 games because he just played.
In 2024.
2024, he played 12 games. He only played 3 in 2025. He had 21 total tackles, 10 solo, 11.2% pass rush win rate, 4.5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 29 pressures, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. Kean had him 8, I had him 4, and Carson had him 2.
You want length and size on the line? This is your guy. 6'6", 35-inch arms,
Man.
327. This is a long boy. And he uses his length to swim or stab blockers, and then once again he can wrap up all ball carriers with that huge tackle radius. When his hands do land first, he's a bully. He rips around the lineman. He can do whatever he wants with him. And then with all this size, he also kind of moves like an edge rusher. He has the quickness to get upfield or move laterally. He has good pursuit speed when chasing the quarterback or running back, which not all these guys in this class have, and I love that at this size. And overall, this guy is just a defensive tackle with huge upside. Amazing length, great quickness and speed. Just needs to fine-tune some of the other things in his game.
Yeah, I agree. I liked his feet. They're nice and quick and choppy to include in that quickness, like you said, especially like that first step. It's a really quick first step. I like the way he uses like arm swipes and chops to shed blocks off of them and also to like stun blockers too. And yeah, I liked his little – I like whenever a guy has that last little tackle burst, like to really explode into the
Make it hurt.
Yeah, make it hurt pretty much. Drive yourself into him and let him know you're there and don't let him get any extra push. But so he has that going for him too.
I love his length. I mean, he's got the ability to long arm and there we go. The 3.5 hours of sleep is catching up to me.
Boom.
We're getting
Yeah.
drunk speak. His length is like longer than all other interior offensive linemen. Like 35 inches is longer than what you're going to see from other players he's going to be facing.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. Yeah, NFL, college, definitely college.
Yeah.
High school for sure. Probably Pee-wees.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Basketball.
Basketball,
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. But he controls the reps, especially in pass rush. I love his swim move because the dude looks like a windmill with those arms.
It does.
Those are super long arms that just swim right on through. It's great. And he can pretty easily rip off the offensive lineman to the side once he's into their pads. But I want to know, and this leads into my cons, why doesn't he do this earlier in reps? Like there are some times where he stays locked
Tied
on.
up, yeah.
Tied up, yeah. And I want to see him use his length more consistently to like, dude, you get to his pads first so you can control that rep. So don't let him into your pads. Like just rip off him immediately. Do something like that. Because I saw that there are some times where he lacks immediate power off the snap. Maybe it's because he struggles with leverage because he plays with a high pad level. And And that's kind of a fear, and that's something that you want from a defensive tackle who is this big. You want them to ideally try to take up blocks, but that's not really his game, so you can't really fault him for that. But I want him to take some long, powerful strides into the offensive lineman, at least right off the snap, because I usually value the big boys who have the quick and choppy feet to keep offensive linemen guessing as to which way they're going to attack. But he tries to chop his steps, and he doesn't have the quick feet. So it's like his small steps are putting a wet blanket over his God-given gifts of size and length. Like, just take one long stride and power through. That's what I want to see, with him at least, because it's not like that for everybody. But I saw that he doesn't really have the lateral agility to take the quick steps and be successful. So in that case, use your power, use your length. There are also times where he tried to shoot some gaps in run defense instead of letting the play come to him, and sometimes he over pursues and missed tackles. 25.5% missed tackle rate throughout his entire college career is very concerning. Not good, and I saw that. And even with his good weight distribution, I don't think he's a fantastic athlete. I think his quickness and speed look pretty average. You see it differently, but I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't realize how many cons I had for this guy. In 2025, he injured his left foot in spring practice, and then the foot, quote, fully snapped during fall camp.
That's never good. Yeah.
According to The Athletic. And after rushing back for week 3, Banks aggravated the foot issue against LSU and wound up having surgery. So he ended up playing just 3 games in 2025 due to foot injuries, and then he broke his foot at the combine.
Oh my gosh!
Which is expected to sideline him through June.
Yeah.
I don't really knock a guy for injuries, but like, what is going on with his foot?
Yeah. I don't know. Some bad doctors, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a lot of man on that.
It's a lot of
man on that foot.
And then finally, with his size length combo, I guess maybe I'm just grading with a curve. I'm seeing the guy and I'm expecting more. I'm expecting more wins with athleticism, especially in pass rush. But I just don't see much fire with him. I want to see more fire because the tools are there.
Sure.
Sorry, I ranted.
That makes sense.
Banks.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I'll add real quick is one thing that you really didn't touch on, but I saw myself, is he seems to, along with letting the tackles get into him, it looks like he gets up, like stands up.
Oh yeah,
pretty quick.
The leverage is
which kind of lets him get into him. And I think a combo of them getting into him so early and them controlling the rep and just him either fighting that or just his style of play, I think like his disengagement to like from block to make a tackle right beside him, I think is slow. Like it's not really there yet. So that's either a combination of just his play style or guys getting into him, controlling the rep. I don't really know, but I'd like it to be a little bit more refined, especially with that size, like you talked about.
I think those go hand in hand.
Yeah,
and
I
Carson,
think so
you can
too.
completely agree with us, and I know that you do. So
yeah, have at it.
I'll just say that my biggest concern is his strength and leverage. I agree with Cody. I think he gets too upright, and at this size, he should be able to take on double teams, but double teams just displace him pretty easily and get him out of there. Yeah. Or even just a single stronger offensive lineman can move him more easily than he should. And because of this, he's not great in the run game, and I attribute that to, first of all, lack of strength, and his play style is just similar to that of an edge rusher more so than an offensive tackle. And I think that makes him another awkward tweener where it's like he doesn't play like an anchor. He has the size for an anchor, but he plays like he wants to be on the edge. So either way, I think he's a project with huge upside, but he's got to really lock in on being a defensive tackle, be more aggressive, and be more explosive.
Comps.
The 7-foot-tall high school basketball player who shoots threes more than he works in the post. Everybody else on his team shoots threes, so he wants to do that too because it's fun. But with his height, he towers over everybody and could be a monster around the hoop. But he just wants to play the way everybody else plays. That goes into what I was saying. Like, I want him to play differently than everybody else because he has God-given gifts.
You're right, he does.
And he's not using them well.
That was such a good comp that I'm not going to do one because I don't have one.
Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
And he's also young, so that's a pro for him.
He is young.
So I think he can get there. I want to see more.
Sure, makes sense. Our number 3 consensus-ranked defensive tackle, we have Lee Hunter from Texas Tech, 6'3.5", 318 pounds with 33.25-inch arms. In 2025, he played 14 games. He had 41 total tackles with 16 solo, 10.6% pass rush win rate, 2.5 sacks, 10.5 tackles for loss, 26 pressures, 1 forced fumble, and 0 fumble recoveries. I had him 5, Carson had him 7, and Kean had him 1.
Yeah, I was excited for this episode because
One.
we all
Uno?
see, number 1, defensive
Okay.
tackle 1. We all see these defensive tackles so differently. Our consensus rankings are absolutely
Bonkers.
Apt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
Carson had him 7, Kean had him 1.
yeah,
There you go.
exactly. And last, Caleb Banks, I
Yeah,
had 8, Carson had him 2. So
Yeah.
so this. I love these conversations, and I don't think this defensive tackle class is very good. But I do think Lee Hunter, whenever I watched Lee Hunter, there was something on there that, and you guys can completely agree and do completely agree. So I'm excited to hear what you say. But here's what I have to say about what he's good at. I think he's got great lateral agility right off the snap. To chop his steps, then explosively sidestep and ole, a lunging offensive lineman, immediately be in the backfield. Especially effective in the run game, where offensive linemen are kind of charging forward at him. I think he's just slippery and light on his feet for 318 pounds. I think he's a great jump off the snap to immediately shoot a gap like a sprinter coming out of his blocks. I think he's real effective with the push-pull and swim move to win his reps early. His hands are quick. I love his hands. That's probably like the thing that I love most about him is that this guy is just hands, man. It's great. He somehow wins his reps without much violence either. His combo technique and get off kind of help him control the rep quickly. He works through the muck like a man playing 1-on-7 football against a bunch of 8-year-olds. He's also got a good anchor whenever he needs to plug the drain and take on combo blocks. And also, I love that he has 3 full years of starting experience in college, 2023 and 2024 at UCF, and 2025 at Texas Tech.
Yeah, I have him at my 5, so like I'm a fan of the guy, but obviously not as much as you. But I did see a lot that you saw. He's pretty well sized, pretty decent power. This is your classic, in my eyes, like your drain clogger type of defensive tackle, which is hard not to love. He does have an explosive step off the line. He stays low for good leverage, unlike Caleb Banks, and I think he does move laterally, like slides laterally pretty well, and he does a lot of stuff pretty good, I think. I do like the way that he can wrap up and finish tackles. He does that very well, and also he's another guy that has that tackle burst whenever the guy's in his area to really just give him that extra oomph to get him to the ground. But, yeah, I don't really have much else.
I have him at 7, so
Let me
I'm
hear
not
it.
really a fan of the guy.
I roasted Caleb Banks, so you
I
need to
don't have a
roast me
lot.
on Lee Hunter.
I don't have a lot, but I'll start with pros because I do agree that this guy has incredible hands. They're so quick. He has a variety of moves he can use. He's great at swimming. He can shed. He can grab and rip. He's shown that he can bull rush as well. So his moves are all there. He stays low and powerful throughout the entire play, never getting upright or losing leverage. I love that. But the thing that knocked him so far down for me was I think that he just lacks quickness and burst off the line, which you guys said you like, and I see it differently. I think that he kind of lumbers off the line, and he's kind of slower to get into the offensive lineman and get his move going. And then also I think that he's shown that he can and wants to drain clog, but I think as a drain clogger he's undersized and it won't work in the NFL. And that's all I have for cons. I just want him to be quick off the line, and I see him as not really that quick. But I do see how his quick hands are going to be a great asset, kind of similar to how Leatu Latu had great hands coming out of the draft, even though he wasn't great elsewhere. And that does have its pros that can really shoot you up the board. So,
Yeah, it certainly does. I guess I did say he's explosive off the line, which I think he is in a way. But for whatever reason, it doesn't really work that well for him. Like, I just think that he won't play that many passing downs. And it seems like if you just watch the player, he looks explosive off the line. He is. He's a powerful athlete, but it seems like it's against some of the other players, it's not quite fast enough to like win early every time in the rep. He'll win, but it's not like immediately for whatever reason. So I don't know what happens between snap of the ball and a half second in or a second in, but there's something weird there that I couldn't quite figure out, to be honest. And I don't know. A lot of him, in my opinion, he just kind of relies on his size quite a bit to win too. But again, kind of like Carson, that's kind of all I had. He just kind of, I honestly guess just liked other players better.
I think if he doesn't win the rep right off the snap, he can get kind of lazy and let up. His anchor gets worse. He stops hand fighting. He just kind of floats there for a few seconds. Not really floats. I guess kind of sinks.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't think in the NFL, I don't think he can be the drain clogger because 318 pounds is 330 is what Tyreek Williams was at last year.
Yeah.
And that's a significant difference in width and everything. And I think that Lee Hunter is more top heavy than he is overall.
Yeah.
Built all around, I guess. So even though I did think he was quick up off the snap to get his hands into the offensive lineman, I think his speed and open field agility are lacking. He looks so top heavy in the open field whenever he has to pursue. It's tough for him to change directions and chase anything further than 5 to 8 yards. It's just the fat guy in him really sinks in.
Sure, yeah, it does.
I'm tired. So cheeseburger. And I comped him to. Are we ready for comps?
Yeah.
I comped him to a matador, and matadors don't really move all that much, right?
What's a matador?
A matador is the
for
guys
people that don't know.
Olay! The bull, the bull fighters.
Oh, okay.
Do they move at all? Maybe 2 feet?
Yeah.
A little step slide?
They got quick hands.
Yeah, they got quick hands.
The quickness in his upper body, and then he yells "Olay!" He olays the blockers.
Sure, yeah.
I think it's fantastic. And to add on to that, he's got strength and mass to be able to hold his ground with offensive linemen, get into his pads. Again, double teams, not really going to be his thing in the NFL, but I think that he's got a solid enough anchor to go one-on-one with an offensive lineman.
Sure.
I also don't have one again. D tackles are hard for me to comp because I don't really D tackles aren't someone you watch in the game and be like, wow, look at that
He
play.
plays like him.
What a rep.
Unless it's like Aaron Donald who
Right.
just is making plays out there. Otherwise, I don't really
Sure,
pay
yeah,
attention.
makes sense.
So.
Okay, our number 2 consensus ranked defensive tackle. We got Peter Woods from Clemson, 6'2.5", 298 pounds with 31.25-inch arms. In 2025, he played 12 games. He had 30 total tackles, 10 solo, 8% pass rush win rate, 2 sacks, 3.5 tackles for loss, 14 pressures, 0 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. Keenan had him 5, and Carson and I had him 3.
First of all, what a name on this guy.
Man,
Peter Woods?
Peter Woods.
Are you kidding me? He's got the double dong name.
Yeah.
It's
double
amazing.
donger?
It's like Dick Willie.
Yes, exactly. It's amazing. But as a football player,
Sure.
this guy is twitchy and very agile. He's an athlete. You can see right off the rip that he has all the athleticism that you need at the D tackle position. Aggressive and quick hands right off the line to do whatever he wants with the offensive lineman and make a move. And then also, just to show what kind of athleticism he has, he was used as a running back and a fullback on offense, which is even more exciting. But that's really the biggest thing I have for this guy, and I think that's what is putting him so high up draft boards is his athleticism from a D tackle and lateral agility is great.
Agreed. I was really impressed with his lateral quickness. I think, like you mentioned, to find the seam and get through it, I guess. And he's able to shed his blocks quickly, too. Definitely an explosive first jump into contact. And this is like your tough, fighter style of defensive tackle, which I love. And he just seems to, really, as the play progresses, he just gets, more and more and more and more. He doesn't get stalled out at all. He just keeps going. I love that.
Yeah, I think he's got a powerful and quick rip move to release from the offensive lineman right as the running back approaches the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And even though he gets moved back on a good amount of run plays, I think he knows when to break off the block and move laterally to meet that running back right as he gets past the D line. He shows off some solid acceleration. There are some pass rush reps where he swats down the offensive lineman's hands in a flash and slips by him like a wet noodle sliding down the drain.
Slippery. But does he stick to a wall?
I didn't quite
TBD.
Yeah, TBD. We'll see.
We'll find out.
I think he just needs more consistency in that. He faced a lot of double teams too, so
Sure
college
did.
offensive linemen and college offenses as a whole feared him, and I think that's important experience for him where he could learn what to do if/when he faces double teams in the NFL. He's also got experience lining up all over the D line, and I also noted those 8 rush attempts in 2025.
Yeah.
Dang.
On top of the fullback attempts that he got, or the fullback blocking attempts.
Blocking
reps.
reps,
Yes.
yeah.
Nice.
Into the cons.
Yeah.
I think he's inconsistent, especially in pass rush. I don't know if it's an effort thing or offenses just really keyed in on stopping him or what. But the entire Clemson team took a step back in 2025, and he was a big one who was part of that. He definitely lacks some strength and a good anchor and run defense. He's smaller. He's under 300 pounds. That's considered a smaller D tackle.
Right. Yep.
He's not going to overpower an offensive lineman, and he's likely going to get moved backwards. And because of his short arms, offensive lineman can get into his pads and take control of the rep. And again, he lacks the power and pass rush too. He knows the offensive line, or he moves the offensive lineman back, but not with explosiveness or quickness. He kind of just looks like he's going through the motions sometimes, and that's a big fear of mine for Peter Woods.
I think part of that, what I kind of saw was he doesn't really have any moves that he relies on to like consistently win. He's just kind of that fighter, like I said in the pros, like fighter type of style, and just doesn't have like any like consistent, like, all right, if I swat this guy's arms, I'm going to get by him every single time. It's not, he doesn't really have that type of game to him. But I saw what you saw. Blockers really get up into him, probably because of his short arms. He doesn't really have, he's got that explosive first jump, like explosive jump into first contact, but he doesn't really have like quick win ability like some of these guys. And probably because of those moves and kind of the smaller size. But he has a lot of success as part of a group. So if he goes to a place that has a good core group of guys that work together well, I think he's going to be great. But if he goes somewhere where it's like, hey, bud, you got to be the guy right now, it's like that could be an issue. And just probably because of short arms or because he got double teamed so much, he just seemed like he got tied up at the line of scrimmage pretty often. So that's a little concerning too.
I agree with Keen on the inconsistent effort thing.
Yeah.
That's a concern. And then also I think that he's on the smaller side, and therefore he's more of a pass rusher than he is a rush defending anchor that takes on double teams. And then, like you guys said, he has short arms and he gets stuck on blocks because of that. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, to answer your question, Cody, he is a wet noodle that can slide down the drain in the pass rush, but he also sticks to the wall with short arms and he can't really get off it. So
yeah, dang.
He does, as a wet noodle, he has the best and the worst of it. And
true.
At the end of the day, we just like him to stay wet and slippery the whole time.
We still like noodles, yeah.
We like wet too.
Yeah,
true.
Like just keep holding the water so you don't stick to the wall.
Yeah,
and you'll be much better off. But overall, I think that he's like the one on draft boards everywhere as a D tackle.
Yeah,
and I think, like I said, that's because of his athleticism. But obviously, we have concerns about effort and
size,
arms, and everything else. So, Calmskin.
Yeah, I comped him to blue cheese, which is very. Let me explain, because this one's a good one. This is one of my better ones. So you watch your tones there. It's very along the lines of how I comped Cade Klubnik to milk. I think Peter
and what's his name to
TJ Parker.
TJ Parker to guacamole.
Oh yeah.
No, it wasn't TJ Parker. It was. Damn it.
Some people like it. Some people don't.
Damn it. Oh, hang on. I'll find it in my doc. Let me control F this.
Okay, well, I'm excited for this one because I feel very strongly about blue cheese.
It was Anthony Hill Jr.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't a Clemson player.
All right.
Yeah.
But, okay, damn it. Now I got to scroll all the way back down.
You got to control F blue cheese now.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Control F.
I'm excited for this, though.
Yeah, no, this is
great.
a good one.
Lots of build up here. This better be good.
Yeah.
All for blue cheese.
I wrote blueberries. How did it went to blueberries? In this doc of all my notes, I wrote blueberries somewhere. Anyways, blue cheese, which is very along the lines of how I comped Cade Klubnik to milk. Okay. I think Peter Woods is another player on that Clemson team who is a dairy product that has mostly expired in my eyes.
Oh, okay.
He was a 4-star recruit and the number 8 defensive lineman in the country coming out of high school. Mm-hmm. His first 2 years at Clemson were spectacular, with many analysts mocking Woods in the top 5 of the 2026 NFL draft before this 2025 season. But after the 2025 season, I don't see consistent explosion or effort that I expected going in. So to me, he's moldy cheese. But to other analysts, he's still a premium, expensive cheese that has a little more moldy color to it, but still very appealing. These analysts still have him mocked in the first round. But I'll be honest that the thought of moldy cheese scares me. So Woods just isn't for me.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
I do. And the people that like blue cheese love blue cheese.
Oh yeah, and I was like, I Googled. I was like, is blue cheese expensive? And it's like it's thought of as a premium cheese.
Yeah. I'm
like
sure you can
put
get
it on like fancy salads and fancy restaurants.
Yeah, blue cheese crumbles.
Yeah.
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 Like, what the hell? It's moldy cheese.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's true. I actually do have a comp for this one,
Sick.
and
Nice.
that's because it's a guy we scouted in our tenure on this podcast.
Tenure. Nice.
So that is a slightly detuned Mason Graham with the athleticism in the hands,
Okay.
but inconsistent in the run, especially.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
So
That
Pretty
is
dang good. Our number one consensus ranked defensive tackle of 2026 is Caden McDonald from Ohio State, 6'2", 326 pounds with 32 and a quarter inch arms. In 2025, he played 14 games. He had 65 total tackles, 31 solo, 4% pass rush win rate with 3 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, 15 pressures, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. Kean had him 2. Carson and I both had him 1. So I'll get us started on this guy. Here's a guy.
Yeah.
He is a tackle machine, which
yeah,
is
he is.
rare for inside defenders, and that immediately jumps off the page, and I absolutely love it. Well built, good size, big motor. Now, this motor, not fast. This is your diesel engine here. He's not fast, but he just keeps on pushing. You are not stopping him. For his size, he's impressively quick.
The motor meter.
The motor meter, yeah, we kept that one in the barn this year.
right.
We kept that one
Cody's
in the
motor
barn,
meter.
yeah. But this one got me hyped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this motor got me hyped up here. Pretty quick feet, pretty quick movements overall. It was impressive for his size. Good tackle and pursuit burst. And he's quick enough to make some moves, to make quick tackles too, I thought. And he's always got his scanners on. He's always scanning for the ball carrier, just looking out, ready to go, try to make an impact.
A motion sensor.
Yeah, all the time. It's going. Good change of direction speed in tight spaces, too. I think that's a pretty impressive part of his game. And I said he's always pushing. He is. He gets that good push, and then he has the ability, too, to shed that tackle to wrap up the ball carrier in, the snap of the fingers. You could be running and not even, think you've got a gap, and then out of nowhere, Cade McDonald is going to pancake you into the ground. So I thought that was super impressive.
Get off incredibly fast on this guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes he even beats the edges off the line, and I noticed that pretty quickly because I was like, holy smokes, it looks like this guy's going off sides. Like,
It looks like he has a
every
better
time.
idea of
Yeah.
when the ball's snapped than the offensive linemen do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he knows all their plays.
Yeah, I'm like, he's like an edge. And I started watching the edges too, and I'm like, this guy's getting off quicker than the edges are.
And he's Ohio State, so that's saying
Yeah.
something. They got
Yeah.
pretty good edges out
Yeah,
there.
it's incredible. And then also, the biggest thing that I love him as is a run game defender, and he's excellent in this. He's big enough to hold his ground. He has great lateral quickness to get around and shed blocks.
Yeah.
He's powerful enough to pop and dislodge blockers, and he has good plays recognition to take a risk and make a tackle for loss. It's like he knows when the snap's coming, and it's like he knows when the play is. It's like he's in the offensive line with these guys, and he's part of the offensive line. He knows the snap count. He knows the run call. He knows exactly when and where they're going, and he meets them there. It's incredible in the run game.
I saw all of that, and I guess the way that I put his ability to make tackles, he's a magnet to the running back. He seems to always be filling the running back's desired gap, or he takes the cutback lane and he meets the running back at the line of scrimmage out of nowhere. It's like he just pops up and boom, the running back's like, oh, this guy again.
Dang
Are you
it.
kidding me? He's also slippery if he's one-on-one with an offensive lineman. He lacks bend and he's really wide, but his silky smooth hand usage breaks him free in pass rush and run defense. This guy needs to be double-teamed. And even on run plays where an offensive lineman is supposed to be plowing the defenders downfield, he consistently moves the offensive lineman into the backfield immediately if he's one-on-one. Centers get absolutely humiliated when he's lined up at nose tackle. And just another one, this was his first year as a full-time starter in 2025, and
Yeah.
he absolutely shined.
Yeah, he stepped up.
Into the cons, I don't think there's a whole lot. This guy is
No.
awesome. But I don't think this doesn't really matter all too much, but I guess I need to say it because we're nitpicking again. He's not a smooth or fast mover in the open field. I know that's not a big worry, again, but he probably won't be chasing down any quarterbacks if they start to leak out of the pocket in the NFL.
Sure.
I think his lateral agility is not that good. He doesn't really try to move laterally in his attempts to shed blocks. He's all about taking straight shots at the offensive lineman and the ball carrier. It could limit his upside in pass rush in the NFL, where there are stronger offensive linemen with better counters to power. But the dude in run defense is absolutely amazing. And I think the worries that I have there in pass rush are just a lack of experience. And I think that he can definitely get there. He's got all the potential in the world.
Yeah, I guess I had to put it as a con because he's kind of different than some of the guys we talked about. But he's more of a – now this is a rough word to say because he's a very good player, but more of a like slow power than just explosive, here's everything I got, and it's going to fizzle out real quick. Like he's more of a slow power guy, so I like it. Some people might see it as a con. The only other thing that I saw that I could count as a con is that I'd like to maybe see him get his hands in there earlier. Like this guy just goes into the tackle, leads with his head, and he's already up against the tackles, and then he gets his hands into the mix. Like he just leads with his body and then gets his hands in kind of later, and I'd kind of like to see him maybe try to get his hands in earlier. He might have to in the NFL. We don't really know. But that's really the only nitpicks I had.
Yeah, the nitpicks I have are countering my con as a great run defender. I think he's not an excellent pass rusher, and you shouldn't really rely on him for that. And then in the run game, while he's great at finding the ball and all that, I don't think he's a true drain clogger to take on double teams, T'Vondre Sweat style.
Yeah.
But it's like you take the good with the bad. With that kind of size, you don't get many other traits. So I think that's really nitpicking, and I still love this guy.
Comps.
This dude is all about power, like a guy who can crack a watermelon with one headbutt.
I thought you were going to say that chick on America's Got Talent that would smash the melons with her melon.
No.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah. I guess I didn't do that reference, but I could have.
Okay.
Classic.
But one swift pound of his forehead, and that watermelon rind is completely compromised. Just like one swift power rush with his lower body, and the offensive line is completely compromised.
Nice.
We have a watermelon smasher in the Berg now. You know that? Remember? Wasn't McCarthy doing that in Dallas?
I don't remember
Wasn't he
that.
smashing watermelons? Anywho, never mind. It might have been someone else. Someone in the NFL was smashing watermelons when they would win. I don't know. Google it.
So for my comp, I went with one of the most classic defensive tackles I could think of. That's a Hall of Fame run stuffer, but not really great in the pass rush, and that's the one and only Vince Wilfork.
Ooh, that's a big ball.
And for what it's worth, they are very similar size. I looked up, and Vince Wilfork was like 6'2" to 25 or 35. I can't remember.
325, you mean?
Yes.
Of course.
That's a lot to live up to. But
That fires me up, though.
yeah.
Okay, special shout-outs.
Yeah. While we're talking about fruit, I cannot believe we didn't talk about Big Citrus.
Big Citrus!
This guy's my defensive tackle 3. That is Dominique Orange out of Iowa State.
Yeah.
6'2", 322 pounds, 33 3/8-inch arms. This guy's, he's got violent hands to punch, rip, push, pull offensive linemen, and actually move them. It's just him forcing his hands into the offensive lineman's pads to start the rep is aggressive.
Yeah.
His arm movements are always exaggerated and big, like he's really yammering on that offensive lineman. Picture somebody trying to rip open an orange who's pissed off.
Probably big citrus. Yeah.
He uses his entire body like a wrecking ball, and I love that. He bursts through gaps or makes his own, and he hits the ball carrier hard. The king of, if you give an inch, he'll take a mile. Meaning that this guy's a people mover.
He is.
Big Citrus.
He definitely is. I saw some of those things too. Yeah, pretty well sized. Good power, drain clogger, explosive off the line. He stays low for hold on. Yeah, anyways. I got off track there, but I was impressed by his tackle and pursuit burst too. Another guy that has that. This is kind of rare in this class at least, but I saw that if he gets bounced out, he recovers pretty well. Mm-hmm. Some of these guys just stall out, but he actually recovers well. I was really impressed with that. Big citrus, big anchor, and has some good counter moves too.
Yeah, I loved it. His agility in the open field. Also, if he gets out in pursuit, change direction, stop and go, chase down some ball carriers.
Big citrus all over the place.
With good speed for his size. Also, I loved his experience. 3 years of starting experience at Iowa State. So,
yeah.
And Big Citrus is the best nickname in this class, I think.
The
maybe
best,
outside of ground beef.
Oh, ground beef. Yeah, low moo. Ground beef.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So the big orange guy, this guy, I love him as a nose tackle because at the nose, he's low and sturdy, and he takes on double teams in the run game. And then once they get near, he just reaches out a paw and brings them down with one hand. This orange guy is incredible. And then in the pass rush, he has a smooth slide and swim.
Yeah.
One may even say a juicy slide and swim.
Please
to
do.
avoid blockers. But I don't want to give this juicy orange guy too much credit. So I do think he's still laterally slow and slow off the line in general. That's kind of comes with the nose tackle position a little bit. Yeah. But I think it's another guy who's better in the run game than the pass game as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's because he's like one of those incredibly large oranges.
Hell yeah.
That's like the peel is so thick you gotta like dig your finger in there. He's not a cutie, you know.
No, this guy's got a thick rind.
Yeah. Peter Woods is like a cutie,
right?
Where it's like you kind of roll him through there and he's slippery.
Yeah.
But the big orange is just that, a big orange. So.
Yeah,
Wait, is a grapefruit a big orange? Like this guy's a grapefruit.
Same family.
I feel like, grapefruits are like.
They're like an orange, right?
Yeah, I think they're citrus.
Basically, yeah. They're citrus.
Yeah,
Wait, his name is Big Citrus, not Big Orange.
Oh, you're right.
Literally orange. His last name is literally Orange.
Is he grapefruit though?
Yeah, could be.
Is he Dominique Grapefruit?
Yeah, he could.
That's a great name, even better than Orange.
Yeah.
And he's got so much beef to him.
He's definitely grapefruit.
I mean, he's got so much beef, and if his name is Grapefruit, he can't be eaten by older people with high cholesterol.
Really?
Wait, I thought you were supposed to eat that.
No, I don't think you are.
Okay.
I think it raises your blood pressure. No, it's blood pressure.
Ah,
Blood pressure.
yeah, that's bad.
So you should avoid beef, and you should avoid grapefruit, both things that he is. Dude's a beefy grapefruit.
He
Agreed.
avoids the ground beef.
Yep.
Avoid ground beef.
And he's probably purple on the inside like a grapefruit. You know, kind of like Thanos. He's just
Yeah. Just
What an
massive.
interesting assumption.
like on the outside he's orange, right?
Right.
Sure, yeah.
But once you really get to know,
Once
the
you
true
peel back
Dominic
the
Orange,
layer.
Yeah.
Big Citrus, you find out he's actually purple and he's kind of a poser. You know?
Kind of a poser. On that note, I honestly I get concerned about him whenever he faces double teams at nose tackle. I think that there are times where he can get moved off the line of scrimmage. I have fears, and another fear of mine is is he going to be used mostly as a run game disruptor in the NFL, because he recorded just one sack in his entire college career. We're talking about how slippery and juicy he is.
Yeah, true.
Because he's a big grapefruit.
Yeah.
But the production as a pass rusher is not there, and I can project all that I want, but he hasn't really done it yet, so that's kind of a little bit of a fear. I think he can be more than a run defense specialist, but how will NFL teams view him is the question. You guys ready for comps?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you remember the first movie, Despicable Me, there is a scene where Gru is driving his humongous spaceship car, and he goes to parallel park in the city, and he tries to do it gently at first, and then he nicks the back car, so he just immediately rams forward and rams backward and rams forward and rams backward.
Classic.
And that's Dominique Orange, because if he doesn't, as I said, if you give the man an inch, he'll take a mile.
Yeah, he'll
Because
make a
he's-
mile.
Yeah, he's big citrus.
Big citrus, baby.
No comp for me.
I've got to talk about my number 2 ranked in this draft, because the disrespect from these guys is next level, honestly. I mean, we've talked about it for some of these guys, but I have my 2. Carson's got him 7. Nope. 8.
Yeah.
Kean's got him 9.
Yeah.
We're talking about Kristen Miller here, okay? Big motor guy, good size and length. Let's read stats because it's worth it. 6'4", 321 pounds, 33-inch arms, and 10-inch hands to boot. Just overall, very well built. Your typical defensive tackle. It's perfect. Textbook. I think that he'll relentlessly and continually try to get to the quarterback and chase down the ball, like just without pause. He'll just keep going. Powerful and pretty explosive with good speed, too. I like his lateral agility. He can shed blockers pretty well, and he's also able to use his lateral movement to follow the action in front of him. It doesn't really let him get around. Doesn't let it get around him too much. Very strong and sturdy base when he's taking on blockers. I liked his hands, too. His hands are what you'd call heavy. You know, like he can provide a really good boom. Exactly. Just that. Really good knockback with his hands. He just plays with heavy hands, being that if you watch him play, whenever he makes contact with his hands, people are moving. And along with his hands, just overall upper body strength kind of helps keep him in control. And by that, I mean he's not getting, pushed.
Right. Roller coaster. Right.
Like that. He stays nice and sturdy, core power, shoulder strength, arm strength. It's all there. Overall, pretty decent speed, decent power, and he can get to the edge too if he needs to and set it. And by keeping that action in front of him, like I said earlier, he'll keep the run in front of him. Doesn't he's always affecting the run game is what I'm trying to say here. And I think that's all my pros.
Yeah, I see exactly why you like him. This is a Cody Crop motor guy.
And I know one more thing I was trying to remember with my.
Right.
Along with his upper body strength, you don't see this guy on the ground very much. Like with all that core strength and balance, like sometimes you'll see defensive linemen just bodies on the ground after the play, but
TJ Parker.
He stays up off the ground.
Yes, and I see exactly why you like him.
Yeah, it's my type of guy.
Cody Crop motor guy.
Big
Never
motor.
giving up on a play. It seems like as the play goes on, this guy gets stronger.
Yeah.
If the offensive linemen get tired or lazy on a long developing play, he's making them pay. His lower body drive increases. He chases ball carriers in the open field, and I don't think his athleticism is elite, but he's a really good athlete.
Yeah.
Really good. His feet can get moving, chugging along faster and faster like a train. It's fun to watch him on stunts where he gets a little running start at the offensive lineman to try to run around the outside shoulder, and he usually does. So I ranked him down pretty low, but I feel like he's in a tier of a bunch of guys that I feel like will be role players, and he's one of them.
Sure, yeah.
Lots of strength in the upper body, that's for sure. This guy has a one-time pop type of thing to hit blockers where he just boom, one-time pop, and then they're usually done. And then his upper body is so strong that he just makes all of his moves with his hands and not his feet. So getting into cons, I think he's all upper body and no legs. So if I had to summarize him, I'd kind of say like from the waist up, he's Eddie Hall. And then waist down, he's kind of like a Chicken Little to me.
Oh, frick.
I think all his moves come from the waist up because he's so damn strong up there. He can do that, and his feet are not proportional to his hands. He's like built like an ice cream cone that's like you can tell he never hits leg day because it's like they're wearing like baggy pants so you can't see his legs.
Right.
And up top, he's just absolutely ripped. And I think he's not a great pass rusher or run stopper, which is why I dropped him. I think he's just kind of not excellent in anything, I'd say. And then for his play style of out-muscle you all around, defensive tackle, rip you around, I think he's undersized, and I think that could give problems in the NFL. But like Kian said, I see why you love the guy because he's so damn strong.
Yeah.
I also have fears that he doesn't create quick pressure and pass rush too much or penetrate the offensive lineman into the backfield of run defense. When he can rip off his block in time to plug a gap in run defense, the running backs can sometimes bounce off of him or almost power through him for extra yards. I also think that he's not very diverse in his hand usage, which I think is a big reason why he struggles to shed blocks quickly. I want to like him more because I love his motor. But I think that there are holes in his game that he needs to clean up. But I think he'll still play a role in the NFL because coaches are going to love what they see at effort.
Can't teach motor.
But
I mean, I can't lie. I did see what you guys saw. I think he's 6'4", 3, whatever he is. But I called him fairly lean to be like a true drain-clogging, run-stopping type of player. There's no doubt about it. But I think I'd really like to see him gain a little bit of that muscle mass and to really make him a monster, especially on his lower body. I think if he could do that, it's game on. But also to add that muscle mass, I think he could struggle with NFL double teams. Like it could be a real problem, no doubt. But I could not look past that big old motor.
Right, and I said I don't think he's an elite athlete because I think he lacks explosion.
Sure, yeah.
But
yeah,
the long
The legs.
but the long drive, I think he's good for.
Yeah.
He's good for. He's not going to stop to piss a bunch of times.
Sure,
Yeah.
definitely
Slow down
not.
the road trip.
You're right.
Big bladder.
I hate that.
Yeah, big
so
bladder.
my comp for him is one of those old Sears lawn tractors that take
Oh.
longer to get started.
Boy, they run though.
You got to turn on the gas, turn the key to get it cranking, and while you're fiddling with the choke, until you can
And God
finally
dang
get
it, my belt's not tight enough. I got to tighten the belt to get this thing to turn over.
Exactly. You got to do all that to finally get it fired up. And then you've got to increase the engine speed. Then you got to put
But
your
not too
foot on the
fast.
clutch.
Not too fast.
No.
Freaking floating valves in here. Can't have
Then
that.
you got to put your foot on the clutch, put it in gear, and ease your foot up off the clutch really slowly so you don't buck yourself off the back of the tractor.
Might pull a wheelie. Yeah.
But once you get those old farts moving, they can eat.
There's no
Boy, they
stopping.
do.
There's no telling where they'll go.
No, yeah. You might not even know, and you're the driver.
I don't have a comp. But I would like to highlight one guy just very briefly, mostly because I have him at 5. Keen has him dead last at 16.
Yeah.
And because of Keen's Caleb Banks ranking, I understand why. This is Darrell Jackson Jr. out of Florida State. This guy is just a huge literal and physical project. He's 6'5.5", 315 with just under 35-inch arms and 11-inch hands. This guy is extremely long. He can get a hand on ball carriers anywhere within his general vicinity. He has good short area quickness and speed to catch the ball carriers, and because of this size and quickness, he has huge potential. But right now he plays way too upright and off balance. He looks lost at times, like he doesn't know where or what to do, and his hands need work. So as a defensive lineman, right now there's a lot to learn, but as a project, it doesn't get much more high upside than this frame and athleticism.
Because you like Caleb Banks, I can see why you like him. Good anchor and run defense despite his high pad level. A lot like Caleb Banks. I think he's fine, but he could do better. Maybe that's the only... And I think he plays stiff. That's more of a con. But this is a pro of him playing so stiff, is that he kind of holds his own as an anchor. His long arms also allow him to reach out and wrap up ball carriers who are even like near him. Even if an offensive lineman is still blocking him, 45 tackles and just a 7.7% missed tackle rate in 2025 is really good for an interior offensive lineman who a lot of times just brush their hand on the guy and get ran through. Their arm gets ran through at least. I think his long arms could really do damage if he improves diversity in his hand usage and expands his tool bag. But into the cons, I think despite him having long arms, he doesn't really know how to use them to shed blocks, like at all. There are too many times where an offensive lineman gets into his pads and locks him up easily. There's nothing that he does. Lateral agility, I think, is almost non-existent. I think his quickness off the snap it's good for his size, but lateral agility, it looks painful for him to change directions on his own or get moved one way or another by an offensive lineman. It's like a statue, like creaking, just like as he gets tried to thrown to the left or the right. And he's almost definitely will not be chasing down any ball carriers in the NFL with pretty disappointing speed and maneuverability. Again, he plays stiff to me. And I think he's inconsistent in how much drive and power he's going to produce from play to play. His inconsistencies and his pad level, hand usage, and overall aggression really concern me, and that's why I had him last as far as the guys that we ranked. Mm-hmm. My comp for him?
Yeah.
The sun.
Okay.
It doesn't move relative to everything else in our solar system. Oh. It's so large that it creates a gravitational pull that sucks the planets toward and around it. So the future could still be bright.
Wow.
You understand what I mean there?
Yeah.
Like he's bringing in the ball carriers like this and tackling them. And
Okay.
yeah.
I like that.
But he doesn't move.
Deep and motivational and kind of like poetic.
Space.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Less poetic. I just think he's a lower floor, great value Caleb Banks.
Yep.
Pretty much.
That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah. That wraps up this episode. Let us know what you guys think about this defensive tackle class. We'd love to hear it. But thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. We got a couple more of these episodes to go before the NFL draft. So stay tuned. We'll catch you on the next one.